My lord, I have news. The Jedi Revan is alive. Should we send assassins to deal with him? Perhaps.
No. Let him come to me.
My lord, he is stronger than he was before. What if...
Revan is strong, but I am stronger.
Some of our forces are starting to express concern. I've heard confessions from Sith Masters who say they are terrified of Revan coming back here to kill them. You know he has a reputation around these parts.
Send a statement to the Dark Council. Tell them Revan died here on Drummond's cars 5 years ago.
My lord, Revan is still out there. You cannot just declare him dead.
Do not presume to tell me what I can and cannot do.
Yes, my lord.
Revan is my problem, and I will deal with him myself.
Yes, my lord.
There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no emotion.
You okay?
Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. Just needed to clear my head.
This is the 4th night in a row you've woken up in the middle of the night.
It's nothing. Insomnia is common in soldiers returning from war. It'll fade away once I get used to civilian life.
But it's not just insomnia, is it? I can sense your fear, Revan. Something is scaring you, and it's not like anything I've ever sensed from you before. Tell me about it.
I can't, Bastila. I don't remember.
I thought your memories were starting to come back.
Bits and pieces, yes. I remember training as a Jedi. I remember defying the Jedi Council to go and fight in the Mandalorian Wars. I remember dueling and killing Mandalore. But after that, nothing. Everything after I won the war is blank.
Then what are you so afraid of?
I've been having nightmares recently. I see a planet covered in storms, and the darkness there. I've never felt anything like it.
What do you think it could be?
I feel like I should know that world, but I don't. The dark side of the Force there is overwhelming. It's so much more powerful than me. And the dread that it gives off, the paralyzing fear.
You should really talk to the Jedi Council about this.
They've brought me nothing but trouble.
They owe you, Revan. You stopped Darth Malak and shut down the Starforge. You saved the galaxy.
And I butchered thousands of Jedi when I became Darth Revan.
Don't talk like that. You're not the same person you were back then. You've said yourself that you don't even remember being Darth Revan. The Council doesn't blame you for that, and neither do I.
I still have a bad feeling about this.
Look, staying up all night won't help anything. You need sleep. We'll talk to the Jedi Council about it tomorrow.
All right. Hello, Canderous.
You look terrible, Revan.
I haven't been sleeping well lately. I'm having bad dreams.
Huh. You want something to drink?
Not from here. Last thing I need is a hangover.
Suit yourself. I'm guessing this isn't a social visit.
I've got some questions about the war, Canderous.
I've been in a lot of wars, Revan. You're going to have to be more specific.
You know what I'm talking about. The Mandalorian War. The war I defied the Jedi Council to go and fight.
Not much to say about that. We lost, you won.
There's something I never understood. What started it? Why did your people decide, after centuries, to launch an all-out attack on the Republic?
It was Mandalore's idea. He felt the Republic was weak and vulnerable. And he was right. At least until you joined the war. Then we started losing battle after battle. Mandalore was so desperate to stop you, he challenged you to single combat. He lost, and that was the end of it all.
Is there anything else? Anything unusual that could have been a catalyst for the war?
This have anything to do with those bad dreams you mentioned?
It might.
Your memory, it's starting to come back, isn't it?
Bits and pieces. I keep having visions of a world I don't recognize. The whole planet is covered in lightning, day and night. And I sense something powerful. Something evil on that planet.
Doesn't sound familiar. What do you think it means?
I feel like it's a warning. Something my old self is trying to tell me. Think about it. Mandalore decides to wage war on the Republic. Malak and I defeat him, and we take our fleet into the unknown region, beyond Mandalorian space. When we return, we launch an attack on the Republic too.
You think you ran into that storm planet out there in the unknown regions?
I don't know, but something happened to us. Something twisted us, something made us turn against the Republic. Maybe it's the same thing that influenced Mandalore to start the war.
What do you want to do?
After I defeated Mandalore, I took his mask and hid it to demoralize his followers. If I can find it again, I might discover some clues. I can't remember where it is. I need you to talk to some of your fellow Mandalorians. Find out what they know.
That won't be easy. We ended up scattering across the galaxy after the war. But I guess I could try to reconnect with some of my old friends.
Thanks. I'm counting on you for this, Canderous.
Ah, Lord Scourge. I presume you know why you're here.
The Emperor assigned me to you, apparently even having troubles with assassins.
Yes. Officially, you are here as extra muscle and nothing more. Rather superfluous, really. Because as much as this matter should be taken seriously, I am more than capable of handling myself.
The Emperor disagrees.
The Emperor is a fool.
If anyone else hears you say that,
I will be executed, if I am lucky, and tortured to death, if I am not.
are you not afraid of the Emperor?
You would be insane not to. But you work for me now, not the Emperor, so I can command your silence. The same principle applies to my soldiers as well. I trust anything said in this room will not be repeated, enough so that I can speak my mind.
Alright then, let's discuss these assassins.
The assassins were protocol droids that tried to attack me with vibroblades. A clumsy attempt, really. My engineers tell me the droids were manufactured at a factory operated by my rival, Darth Zedrix. I fear he's been plotting against me for some time now.
But you don't have any proof.
That's what you're here for.
What do you want me to do?
Go to the factory that produced the protocol droids and hack into their records. Find evidence to incriminate Zedrix, and then return to me.
As you wish.
Revan, you don't deserve to be here.
Atris, still as orthodox as ever, I see.
Still trying to recapture your lost memories?
Trying to find an old friend.
You don't look like you're succeeding.
Then maybe you can help me.
Who are you looking for?
Mitra Surik, the Jedi exile.
You would have the audacity? You would dare to search for her after what you did?
I don't remember any of that, Atris. You have to learn to control your anger. Now, slow down and explain what happened.
Tell me what you remember about Surik.
She chose to follow me and fight in the Mandalorian Wars. She served under me as my general. We were close, I think.
And that's all?
Yes.
Then I will tell you the rest. The final battle of the Mandalorian Wars took place over Malachor V, as you know. You'd stationed a large Republic fleet over the planet as bait for the Mandalorians.
And they took the bait.
Of course they did. They were too stupid to realize it was a trap. When the Mandalorians showed up, you boarded their command ship and killed Mandalore yourself. Then, General Mitra Surik, operating under orders from you, activated the Mass Shadow Generator.
What's the Mass Shadow Generator?
Why do I have to be the one to explain everything to you? The Mass Shadow Generator was a weapon of mass destruction. It worked by altering a planet's gravitational field. So when Surik activated the weapon...
Every single ship was pulled down to the surface of Malachor V and smashed to pieces on it.
Not quite. Some of the ships survived. You and Surik are still alive, after all, but both the Mandalorians and the Republic sustained terrible losses. You sacrificed most of your own fleet to secure victory.
It was the only way to win that fight.
Maybe. But I analyzed the tactical reports from before and after the battle. I noticed that you had very particular specifications as to which officers were stationed on which ship. That got me curious, so I did a little more digging. And it turns out that you deliberately arranged for soldiers who doubted your leadership to be put on ships that ended up crashing on Malachor. You didn't just sacrifice your fleet. You handpicked who would live and who would die.
I didn't. I wouldn't.
You did that, Revan. All those deaths are on your conscience.
What happened to Mitra Surik? She didn't die, did she?
No. She was closer to the Mass Shadow Generator's blast than I think you intended. She was hit by the gravitational shockwave. It brought her to the brink of death. At the same time, she experienced the deaths of thousands of Mandalorians and Republic soldiers through the Force. It was all too much for her to bear in her weakened state. It would have killed her. It should have killed her. Instinctively, she protected herself the only way she knew how. She cut herself off from the Force. Permanently.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Really? Then why did you and Malak leave her behind when you went to the unknown regions? You realized she was of no further use to you, and you abandoned her. That's why she came back to the Jedi Council to face judgment. That's why she was exiled from the Order.
I'm not the same man anymore. Is it right to still hold me accountable for those crimes?
You haven't changed a bit since you were brought back to the light side. So yes.
Well, do you know where she went? I need to talk to her.
Haven't you done enough already? It's your fault she defied the Council and followed you to war. It's your fault she fell to the dark side and was branded the Exile. And it's your fault she cut herself off from the Force. For a Jedi, that is a fate worse than death.
Whatever you think of me, I did not compel Mitra into any of this. She made her own choices, and it should be her decision now if she wants to speak to me again. Not yours. If you know where she is, you have to tell me.
I haven't seen her since she was exiled. I don't know where she went, and I hope I never see either of you again.
Oh, good. You're back. Took you long enough.
I was surprised by the droids guarding the factory.
And I'm surprised they gave you so much trouble.
I don't understand.
A renowned Sith warrior like you, struggling against a few cheap protocol droids? That's not typical. I think you're so accustomed to fighting living opponents that you instinctively fuel yourself on their fear, their hatred, their anger. All Sith do this to some extent, but you rely on it. You use it as a crutch. Droids don't feel, so you're subconsciously reaching for something that isn't there. Next time, focus on your own strength instead of leeching off your enemies.
A valuable lesson, my lord. One I will take to heart.
I have more than enough sycophants. Thank you very much.
Alright. What have you recovered from the droid factory?
A lot of very, very useful information. For example, evidence implicating Darth Zedrix in a conspiracy to dethrone the Emperor.
But that doesn't make any sense. Zedrix knows he can't possibly stand against the Emperor and live.
It makes perfect sense if you know the man as well as I do. Zedrix is old and desperate. He knows his position is vulnerable, and soon the Emperor will have no further use for him. In his arrogance, he thinks he can usurp the Emperor and save himself. That's why he tried to assassinate me. He seeks to replace the Dark Council with new members, who he can easily manipulate into attacking the Emperor. Now, thanks to you, we know his plans, and we must act quickly to stop them.
I'm surprised the Emperor instructed you to deal with this. I'd have expected him to send the Imperial Guard to execute Zedrix.
The Emperor doesn't know.
Then we have to report him.
I don't think that would be a good idea. The files from the droid factory aren't strong enough evidence, and my rivalry with Zedrix is well known. If we come forward, he will simply deny everything, then cover up his involvement or flee while the Emperor investigates.
Then what? Assassination?
We would need a particularly skilled and accomplished assassin. A Sith Lord, not a protocol droid. Do you think you can get close to Zedrix?
Maybe. If I can lure him out into the open alone, he'll be an easy target.
Good. Zedrix uses encrypted transmissions to communicate with his followers. I can have my people crack the code and request an urgent meeting alone. Then you kill him.
Why me? Surely you know more qualified assassins, more powerful Sith.
The more powerful someone is, the less control I have over them. Besides, I would not lose too much if you fail and die. And either way, it will be an interesting test of your abilities.
Set up the meeting then.
You couldn't have just contacted me via hologram?
I need to talk to you face to face about this.
Sounds ominous.
You still have those nightmares?
Occasionally. I'm dealing with it.
Well, I didn't learn anything about a planet covered in storms, but I did dig up something you might be interested in.
Tell me.
I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I think you have a right to know.
Don't worry, I won't go running off to the Jedi Council.
It's not just them. You can't tell the Senate either.
This must be pretty serious then.
I got in touch with some of my people, like you asked. I found out there's a meeting of all the Mandalorian clans on Rakayad.
They're planning another invasion.
No, they're not. Not yet, at least. They're looking for Mandalore's mask. They think you hid it somewhere on Rakayad.
I think they might be right.
You know what that mask means to my people. Whoever finds it will be hailed as the new leader of the clans. Mandalore will rise again, and all the clans will follow.
And the Senate will crush the Mandalorians from existence if they launch another attack. Do you think they'll try to wage war again if the mask is found?
Depends who finds it. Some of us want peace. Some of us want revenge.
Alright. I'm not going to say anything to the Senate or the Council. But whoever finds that mask will shape the future of your people for the next 1,000 years. I think it might be a good idea for us to be there when that happens.
Huh. Just you and me on a frozen wasteland. Sounds like fun.
Don't forget Bastila.
I thought we agreed to leave the Jedi out of this.
She's my wife. I'm not going to abandon her. Plus, I can trust her to keep quiet.
Hey, it's your call. I mean, if you can convince her that trekking through some icy rock in the Outer Rim is a good idea.
Sorry I'm late. I got held up by the Council again.
That's okay. I couldn't sleep. And I've got good news.
So have I. You first, though.
I'm pregnant.
I can't believe I didn't notice.
Well, you've had a lot on your mind. You haven't been sleeping much.
Talk about bad timing.
What is it?
Me and Kindereth are going to Rakaya to find Mandalore's mask. I think it might be connected to my dreams.
Can't you just stay here?
I have to do this. It's the only way I'll ever find out what all of this means.
What if you don't find out? Your nightmares are already fading. Maybe in a few months they'll stop.
Maybe. But I think these are more than just old memories resurfacing. They're a warning. Even if the visions stop, the threat they represent will still be out there.
Haven't you done enough already? You saved the Republic from the Mandalorians, then you saved it again from Darth Malak. And in return, you had your memory destroyed, and now you've been ostracized by the Jedi Council. You've paid for your mistakes. You've sacrificed enough. You've earned the right to live out your days in peace.
If I don't do something, nobody else will.
So what? Nobody does anything. Whatever evil's lurking out there might not show itself for decades, centuries even. We have a chance to live out our entire lives in perfect happiness. And you're gonna throw that all away?
I'm not doing this for the Republic. I'm not doing this for you or for me. I'm doing this for our child and their descendants. We might not live to see the horrors that are coming, but they will. We have to risk our one chance at happiness so they can live a life we might never know.
When do we leave?
Soon. I don't know when exactly.
I can't come with you then. We'd be gone for months, maybe years. I won't risk giving birth on the edge of the galaxy. I won't risk taking our child on a journey we might not survive.
Bastila, your power, our bond. I don't know if I'll be as strong out there without you. I don't know if I'll be able to resist falling to the dark side again. I don't know.
If I give you my word that we'll be okay, will you shut up? Because I can think of better things to do on our last night together than talking. Be careful out there, Revan.
I always am.
I know, it's just seeing you in that mask is unsettling. It reminds me too much of who you were.
It's a convenient way of hiding my face, lest anyone recognize me.
It's not a very effective disguise then. That mask is more infamous than your real face.
It's infamous because people fear it. When my enemies see me in my mask, they don't see me as a human. They see me as a killing machine.
All right, I get the point. Just try not to lose yourself again while you're out there. And make sure you come back to me in one piece.
Darth Zedrix.
So you're the young upstart who says he's got information for me.
Yes, my lord.
Then speak up and tell me about it. I don't have all day.
I have data proving you manufactured protocol droids that tried to assassinate Darth Nihilus.
You're a smart one, aren't you? Well, if you hand me over the data here and now, I can assure you there will be a rather substantial reward.
No.
No? What is it then? Blackmail? Extortion?
Execution. Darth Nihilus demands your death.
And she sends a mere child to challenge me? My, she must be desperate.
You talk tough for an old man. Let's see if you can back it up.
You think the mask is in there?
This is an old Sith tomb, I think. It's here. The mask is in here.
Do you want to do the honors?
Canderous Ordo. Never thought I'd see you again. Looking for Mandalore's mask too?
Been a while since I saw a fellow Mandalorian.
Who's that with you? Turn around so I can see your face. Canderous!
Easy, easy. He's on our side.
You dishonor the very name Mandalore by allying yourself with him.
He's changed.
That doesn't erase what he did. Thousands of Mandalorians are dead because of him. We lost the war because of him.
A true Mandalorian would respect their enemy, especially if they lost to him.
There's a reason we call him Revan the Butcher. He killed gratuitously. No honor, no respect, no finesse, no elegance, just endless, mindless slaughter. That's why he deserves to die.
Do you really think you can stand a chance against both of us?
I'm not here to kill you, just him.
This isn't a fight you can win.
I don't have a choice here.
If you fire that blaster, you will die. There's always a choice.
At least I'd die honorably, unlike you.
If he's found us, then his friends won't be far behind.
That Mandalorian described me as a butcher. Is that true?
I never saw you in battle, but from what others have told me, yes. You were unstoppable, they said. Too fast to shoot, too brutal to engage up close. Anyone that caught your attention got their neck snapped with the Force or their throat slashed with a lightsaber.
How? Why didn't anyone tell me any of this?
Simple. They weren't there. Bastila and all your other Jedi friends never fought in the war. What's that?
It's a Sith holocron detailing the life of Lord Dramath. He ruled over a planet called Nathema, but was overthrown by a Sith named Lord Vitiate and killed. His son fled to Rakayat and died here as well.
So this has nothing to do with Mandalore.
It has everything to do with Mandalore.
How?
About 2 years before he declared war on the Republic, Mandalore was approached by a young Sith Lord with red skin and black armor.
Didn't the Jedi wipe the Sith out? You and Malak were the first real Sith for centuries, if I remember correctly.
We were. Both the Sith species and the Dark Lords of the Sith are extinct now. Or at least that's what the Jedi archives say. But this Sith came to Mandalore. He claimed to be a servant of a powerful master, and told Mandalore of a vision his master had had of the Mandalorians rising up against the Republic. He told them they would conquer world after world, until the Republic finally collapsed. He promised Mandalore a glorious victory, and Mandalore believed him.
Mandalore wouldn't lead us into a war just because a stranger told him we'd win.
The Sith used the power of the dark side to manipulate him. It was only when Mandalore lay dying at my feet that he realized he'd been tricked.
You're saying the Sith tricked Mandalore into attacking the Republic? Why?
I don't know. Maybe I'll find the answers on Nathema.
Nathema?
The hyperspace coordinates are in the holocron. I think Malak and I went there after the war ended.
Is Nathema that world you kept dreaming about? The one covered in storms?
No. I think we went there after Nathema.
And when you returned, you tried to conquer the Republic, just like Mandalore.
It's not the same thing. Mandalore was a warrior who had no loyalty to the Republic. Convincing him to attack was simple. The Sith was only telling him what he wanted to hear. But Malak and I were Jedi. It would have taken far more than some persuasive words and a subtle push from the Force to turn us to the dark side. Something happened to us there.
You don't think going to Nathema again is a little risky?
I'll be more careful this time. I know what to be wary of.
So when do we leave?
You're not going.
What do you mean I'm not going?
You need to stay here. The Mandalorians have to be kept in check. Now that you have Mandalore's mask, you have the authority to make sure that happens.
I abandoned my people, Revan. You think I can just stroll back to them?
The fate of the galaxy depends on this. If there is another Mandalorian war, I might not be around to turn the tide. Go back to your people with the mask. Get them to follow your command. And keep a low profile.
But Sendrix is dead, my lord.
As I expected. You have outdone yourself, Lord Scourge.
What's next?
Are you loyal to the Empire?
I'm loyal to the Emperor.
That is not the same thing.
What do you mean?
The Emperor is insane. Unchecked, he will destroy us all.
For 1,000 years, the Empire has thrived under his rule.
The Emperor has expanded our borders and made us stronger, yes. but he is only doing this for one purpose. He intends to invade the Republic. He intends to start another war with the Jedi.
Impossible. The last time the Sith fought the Jedi,
We were annihilated. The Jedi still believe us to be extinct. Such was the magnitude of our defeat.
but attacking the Republic makes no sense. The Emperor isn't stupid enough to start a war he cannot win.
No, but he is arrogant and powerful and mad. And all this makes him reckless. Some of us on the Dark Council learned of his plan. To save the Empire, we formed an alliance, vowing to work together to bring the Emperor down.
Was Darth Cedrix part of this alliance?
He was.
And you betrayed him.
If the Emperor suspected the Dark Council was allying against him, he would kill us all. To throw off suspicion, we had to make the Emperor believe we were plotting against each other.
Those droid assassins. You reprogrammed them yourself, didn't you? And Centrix is willing to take the blame for it.
Not quite. Zedrix is old, but he is no fool. He never would have taken the fall for my assassination willingly, so I planned to have my own people investigate and blame Zedrix accordingly. But then the Emperor sent you, and the plan had to change. I had to manipulate you into eliminating Zedrix for me, which you have done an admirable job of.
Why tell me all of this?
Because you could be a powerful ally or enemy. And I cannot kill you. The Emperor is suspicious enough as it is. My only hope is to make you see reason and join our cause.
What's the catch? How do you know I won't report you to the Emperor?
I don't. But you have no evidence. So the Emperor will simply kill us both if he cannot decide who to believe. And you don't strike me as a martyr.
Where do we go from here then?
Now I must persuade you to truly believe in our cause. Securing your silence through threats and blackmail is not enough when we finally move against the Emperor. I need to be sure you are on my side. Have you ever heard the tales of the Emperor's childhood?
No.
Very few people have. He's hidden his past, for if the truth came to light, no one would ever willingly follow him. He was born almost 1,200 years ago on a planet called Nathema.
I've never heard of it.
Of course you haven't. The Emperor erased Nathema from the history books and navigation charts to hide all evidence of his crimes.
Crimes?
The Emperor has lived for over 1,000 years. Do you ever wonder how he achieved such a lifespan?
Dark side rituals, I presume.
Yes and no. While technically correct, dark side rituals is an almost insulting understatement. What he did on Nathema is so far beyond mere Sith alchemy that it would be degrading to compare the two.
So what did he do then? What's the secret to his immortality?
Telling you what happened is not enough. To truly understand, you must see for yourself. Only then will you comprehend the price the Emperor has paid and why he must be stopped.
And how do I get to Nathema?
I will take you there. Then you can see for your own eyes the horror of what happened so long ago.
How do I know this isn't a trap?
Use your common sense. If I wanted to kill you, I would have done so 1,000 times already.
When do we leave?
Patience, Lord Scourge. It will take several days to make all the preparations, as traveling to Nathema is punishable by death. Now, return to your quarters and get some rest. Nothing I can say will prepare you for what you experience on Nathema. But I will tell you the history of the Emperor and his homeworld.
How will I know if what you're telling me is the truth?
Oh, believe it or not, as you see fit. It will pass the time, if nothing else. They say the Emperor was born with eyes as black as the void of space, and he never cried, not even as a newborn. When he spoke, his voice carried a weight and power that should not have come from a child. At the age of 6, he began to manifest signs of force sensitivity. Suspicious about the boy's power, his father confronted his mother, who admitted to having an affair with a powerful Sith called Lord Dramath. The father flew into a rage and attacked the boy's mother, but his son stopped him, snapping his own father's neck without a second thought. The young Emperor then tortured his mother for months, honing his power. After he killed her, he made his entire village kneel before him. Those who refused were executed. Over the next few years, his influence and reputation spread across the planet until he had amassed legions of fanatical followers.
You said the Emperor's father was a Sith Lord. Surely he didn't just sit back and do nothing while a child conquered his planets.
Lord Dramath had heard the rumors, but he spent a great deal of time off-world and cared little for his people. Had he acted more swiftly, the Emperor might never have risen to power. But it took almost 4 years to investigate for himself. Lord Dramath intended to judge the child's power to determine if he would be a worthy apprentice or if he should be executed. But his son had no intention of serving or dying. Only 10 years old, the Emperor stripped his father of his power and sanity, and Lord Dramath spent his final moments screaming in agony. It took 3 more years for the Emperor to gain full control of Nathema. Lord Dramath's other son fled to Rakayad rather than face his formidable half-brother. But many other Sith sought to seize the throne. All fell before the Emperor. At 13 years of age, he presented himself to Marka Ragnos, who was the leader of the Sith at the time. Impressed, Marka Ragnos granted the boy the title of Lord Vitiate. Officially recognized as the ruler of Nathema, Lord Vitiate returned to his home planet to conduct further research into dark side sorcery and stayed there for 200 years. And in the aftermath of the Great Hyperspace War, when the Sith were annihilated by the Republic, Lord Vitiate emerged from his solitude to offer sanctuary for the fleeing Sith. He invited them to participate in a ritual to unlock the full potential of the dark side. He promised they would unleash power beyond anything they could imagine.
Didn't they suspect a trap?
Perhaps. Some refused to go, but many more came. After all, he was only Lord Vitiate, a ruler of a backwater planet of no importance. He had the reputation of a scholar, not a warrior. But once the Sith arrived on Nathema, they quickly fell under his control. He crushed their minds, dominated their wills, and forced them to participate in the most complex ritual of darkside sorcery ever attempted. In the span of a single day, Nathema was devastated. Every living thing on that planet died to make Lord Vitiate immortal. And by nightfall, the world was nothing more than a burnt-out husk.
The strong take from the weak. That is the core of our philosophy. Doing it on a scale of millions doesn't change anything.
I once thought that too. You feel it, don't you? The oppressive sense of emptiness, the weight of the void crashing down on you until you cannot breathe.
What happened to this place?
Nathema is dead now. The Emperor's ritual killed every living thing on the planet. Even the Force itself withered and died under his power. Nature abhors a vacuum. The absence of the Force here creates an excruciating pressure, especially for those sensitive to it. Legend has it that even the Emperor himself dares not return here.
I've seen enough. Let's go back to the ship.
There!
What is it?
A ship just dropped out of hyperspace.
Could the Emperor have sent someone to follow us?
I don't think so. The signature doesn't match any design I've seen before. And it's a small freighter. If the Emperor knew we were here, he would have sent a fleet.
I don't think they've seen us.
Let's introduce ourselves.
We've been hit! Get us down safely!
This man was piloting that ship, I presume.
I know him. His name is Revan. He's a Jedi.
I've heard of him as well. He doesn't look like much.
No, but he is one of the most powerful Force wielders to have ever lived. Even unconscious, I can sense the power radiating off him.
How did he end up here?
Revan and another Jedi called Malak discovered Dromund Kaas by accident 5 years ago. They were captured and sentenced to death.
And what's he doing here?
Revan couldn't have escaped the Emperor's citadel alive. It stands to reason that he is still working for the Emperor.
How is that possible? The Jedi are sworn enemies.
You underestimate how powerful the Emperor's influence is. Revan was far weaker 5 years ago than he is now, and the Emperor is more than capable of bending two unprepared Jedi to his will.
Can't we just kill him?
Not until we know why he is here. We'll take him back to my fortress for questioning.
Oh, I'm looking forward to interrogating a Jedi.
Just be careful. He is extremely powerful and extraordinarily dangerous. Welcome back to Dromund Kaas, Revan.
Do I know you?
Skip the introductions, Revan.
Interesting. I think he's actually forgotten me.
What happened to your partner, Malak?
I killed him.
Why?
It's complicated.
Why are you here?
It's classified.
What do you know about this place?
I don't even know what planet I'm on. But you look familiar.
I would certainly hope so. We've met before, after all.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. At all. Everything after the Battle of Malachor V is gone.
Well, I'm sure you'll recover. Amnesia has a habit of undoing itself, especially among Jedi.
Even if I do remember, what makes you think I'll tell you anything?
I was at the top of my class at torture at the Sith Academy. I have broken countless Sith, and a Jedi will be no different. Sooner or later, you will tell me everything.
Maybe. But I'm going to make you work for it.
How much longer will it take to break him?
I don't know. We've already drugged him to the edge of unconsciousness, but his pain threshold is too high. If we press him any further, we risk killing him. As well as this, his memory doesn't seem to be coming back. He might not ever remember his time under the Emperor's influence.
A shame. I had hoped to verify my theory.
What theory?
When Revan and Malak came to Dromund Kaas 5 years ago, they caused quite a stir among the Dark Council. The Emperor declared them both dead not long after their arrival here. But of course, that was a lie. I suspect that the Emperor turned Revan into his puppet and sent him back to the Republic as a spy.
If he's been spying on the Republic, then the Emperor must be closer to launching his invasion than we thought.
The Emperor leaves nothing to chance. If necessary, he will spend decades, even centuries, preparing. We still have time to stop him, and Revan may be of use to us.
How so?
You said it yourself. Something happened to his mind. He is a Jedi now, with no loyalty to the Sith Empire. He is weaker than the Emperor, yes, but even so, his sheer, raw strength is staggering. If you stopped drugging him and gave him back his lightsaber, I dare say he'd raze this entire fortress to the ground without breaking a sweat. And that sort of power can be very, very useful if you know how to properly manipulate it.
It might take years before you understand what happened to him. He might never agree to join us in fighting the Emperor.
The Emperor is not the only one who can be patient.
Hello, Bastila. It's been a while.
Maître Sarek the Jedi exiled here at my doorstep. You said we needed to talk.
I wasn't sure if I should come, but T3M4 insisted. He told me I needed to talk to you, but as much as I tried, I couldn't get him to tell me anything more.
I gave him special instructions the night before he left with Revan. I told him if they ever got separated, he had to come and find me.
A smart decision. You never know what might happen, or who to trust.
Exactly. After you were betrayed by Darth Traya, I can imagine you feel the same way.
A lot has changed since that time. The Republic is flourishing. The Sith are gone, and you're a Jedi Council member now.
All right, T3. Let's see what you have to say. Huh. So Canderous is the new Mandalore.
Yes, I met up with him on Dixun while I was searching for the Jedi Masters.
What else do you know that I don't?
I would never keep anything about Revan from you. You're his wife. You have more right to the truth than anyone.
I know, it's just... I'm so tired of being cooped up in here. I should have gone with Revan.
No, you did the right thing staying here. Now let's hear more of what T3 has to say. The Sith?
I suppose they're not as extinct as the Jedi Order thought.
After Revan was captured, T3 fled, trying to make his way back to you.
Except he found you and helped you save the Republic from Darth Treya and her apprentices.
I think I know what I have to do next. I have to go to Nathema and follow Revan.
You? What about me? Am I supposed to just stay here?
What has changed since Revan left? You stayed behind to care for your son. Are you prepared to leave him now?
I'm sorry. Of course not. I miss him. I feel so helpless. So useless. I can't fight Anathema and fight off the Sith. All I can do is wait.
You're part of the Jedi Council now, Bastila. Just because you're not on the front lines doesn't mean you're any less of a Jedi, and it doesn't mean you can't still keep the Order flourishing.
I suppose so. I never was very patient.
I'm going to do everything in my power to find Revan. If he's still alive, I'll do whatever it takes to bring him back to you.
Thank you. You should take T3M4 along with you. He spent months exploring Nathema, looking for parts to repair the Ebon Hawk.
Sounds good. I'll make some final preparations, then I'll leave for Nathema in a few hours.
Wait. If you find Revan, will you give him this?
What is it?
A holo recording. A message from me.
Thank you.
Now bring my husband back.
I will. This place. Let's keep moving. Let's see. Dromund Kaas? That doesn't sound familiar. Hold on. Sith Empire. Imperial capital. This is big. We should let the Jedi Council know about this. You're right. Tensions between me and the Council right now are strained. They probably wouldn't believe me, and even if they did, they wouldn't act. It would just be like the Mandalorian Wars all over again. Now let's get out of here.
You seem troubled.
4 years. 4 years we spent plotting and scheming against the Emperor, and we are no closer than when we were before we captured you.
What's stopping the progress?
Nyrus still refuses to take any real action against the Emperor. All of her time and resources are spent scheming against her rivals in the Dark Council.
Nyrus is driven by fear. Openly striking against the Emperor puts her at risk. She views her own survival as more important than the fate of the Sith Empire.
There are powerful Sith Lords that can be persuaded to take action against the Emperor. All we need is someone to take charge, to spur them into action.
If Nyrus steps forward, she can no longer hide in the shadows. It would only take a single betrayal for her to come crashing down.
If everyone is too afraid to step forward, the Emperor will lead us into a war we cannot win, and the Jedi will wipe us out.
You need to find another ally to your cause. Someone who is powerful, but not caught up in the politics of the Dark Council.
You must be growing desperate if you think you can trick me into helping you escape.
Oh, you'll release me eventually.
What makes you think that?
The Force has shown me my freedom.
What do you mean? Have you seen a vision? What did you see?
All in good time.
Tell me.
No. Like I said, you'll understand soon enough.
I have no wish to play your games. You can rot in this cell forever, for all I care.
Mitra Surik.
So, here it is. Drummond Cass. I know. I'll be careful. Nobody here knows I'm a Jedi, so I shouldn't run into trouble anyway. Hey, I'm looking for someone.
Posa non ci rinta masukin kurawanka.
Someone who knows this place. I'm looking for a friend, you see, and he went missing around these parts.
Mokpito na wana si Jin si wanobosh. Haramontok tumukara chokorak.
Thanks. Stay here, T3. Hey, I was told you could help me.
Tarantagaka, Chanama, Koronomo Suto Wima Tonabo,
Can you find someone for me?
Pasasusho Wi, Kanaina Doka Chess,
A pure-blood Sith who carries a lightsaber and wears black armor.
Naji Kachi a Ubanta,
Do you know him?
Tutami Sikiluta,
Where can I find him?
Nobolermi Nikunta Di, Krichako no Hondi,
You will tell me where I can find Lord Scourge.
Posoma Britushniki Tuk Tuk Pamba, Bora, Tino Morira Nibonon, Tin Unpat no Tongabo Shan Uninon.
Thanks.
Lutanas, Antihit Murira Yun Chuba, Chuba Yubang Lara Bogtara Torang.
You wanted to speak to me? Jedi.
That's right. And you're going to tell me where you're keeping Revan captive.
He was right.
I'm still waiting for an answer.
Revan's a prisoner here on Dormant Cass.
Then free him.
It's not that simple. After all these years, after all this time, I finally understand what he meant. He wants us to unite against a common foe.
What common foe?
Our Emperor is planning an invasion of the Republic that will surely lead to our extinction. Revan wants to stop him. So do I.
Then why did you take him prisoner on Nathema?
That was before I knew why he was here. I assumed he was a spy for the Emperor.
So, release him.
Again, it's not that easy. Revan is being held in the stronghold of a Dark Council member, Darth Nihilus. I can't free him without help. Unless...
What is it?
I have an idea. Setchel, I need your files.
In Soranaka Megun Soji,
The files proving that Darth Nihilus and the Dark Council are plotting to overthrow the Emperor.
Mi Pasaka Nocho Tosta.
I'm going to bring the files to the Emperor and expose Nihilus as a traitor.
Lurgo Bochino, Swepi Guma, Sechara, Puto Milbo.
Nihilus is my problem, not yours. Now, give me the files.
Dawanga Nochi, Roren, Manama, Kochpa Ino Shan Opora.
State your name and business.
I wish to speak to the Emperor.
Then the appointment must be made.
I am Lord Scourge, and I'm here on behalf of Darth Nyrus. The Emperor is in danger, and I have to speak with him.
If the Emperor feels his time has been wasted, you will not leave this citadel alive.
That is a risk I'm willing to take.
Then enter.
My lord, 4 years ago, I went to serve Darth Nyrus at your request. I became suspicious of her motives, and eventually discovered she is leading a conspiracy to overthrow you.
Are you certain of this?
I would stake my life on it.
You already have. Does Nyrus know you are here?
No, my lord. I came to you as soon as I found out.
You summoned me, my lord?
Keep Lord Scourge in custody until this matter is settled.
Forgive me, my lord, but Darth Nyrus is expecting my return. If I am absent, she will grow suspicious.
You are bold to speak to me in such a manner. However, because you are right, I will reward your initiative this time. When Nyrus falls, you will rise to take her place.
Thank you, my lord.
If, however, your information proves to be false, you will suffer terrors beyond anything you can imagine. Now, go.
What did you do?
I got the Emperor to believe Darth Nyrus is a traitor. While his Imperial Guard storms Nyrus' fortress, we can rescue Revan.
That was a risk. Why didn't you go to one of Nyrus' rivals instead?
The Dark Council spends weeks preparing for every move they make, and my patience has worn thin after 4 years. The Emperor is the only Sith on Dormant Cass with the will to act quickly.
Looks like your risk paid off. When does the Imperial Guard strike?
Tonight. The Emperor isn't going to wait to give Nyrus a chance to escape.
Then let's get in position. T3, wait here until we return. Here. Scourge gave me your lightsaber.
Thank you for saving me.
I hate to break up the touching reunion, but we need to get out of here before the Imperial Guard razes his stronghold to the ground.
Oh, you still have some time left. And so do I. The Imperial Guard will make sure I never leave my fortress alive, but neither will any of you.
That's enough.
I've been wanting to kill you for years, Revan. Time to make that happen.
You can't win this fight.
I am Darth Nerys, Dark Lord of the Sith. I am the conqueror of Drezi, the destroyer of Meldia, and I sit on the Dark Council. You are a mere Jedi, and an imprisoned one at that. I am a god compared to you.
No. Before me, you are nothing.
How?
Ironic, isn't it? You spend all this time scheming against the Emperor and the Dark Council, only to have your most promising plan backfire on you.
I'm impressed.
Get us out of here. Thank you all for rescuing me.
Now, we need to recuperate. I'll head back to the city and learn more about the attack. If we're lucky, the Emperor will have spread his forces too thin, leaving him vulnerable.
Good idea. Mitra Surik, I never thought I'd see you again.
Me neither.
Mitra said you lost your connection to the Force.
I did, but it came back during my time in exile.
You're stronger than you were before.
So are you. I have something to give you.
What's this?
It's a holo recording from Bastila.
Let's watch it together.
What did you find out?
The Emperor. He killed all 12 members of the Dark Council. Even those who had nothing to do with the conspiracy.
How is that possible? He doesn't have nearly enough troops for an attack on that scale.
Only Nyrus was taken out by the Imperial Guard. And the others were summoned to the Emperor's throne, where he fought and killed them personally.
So what's happening now?
The Emperor has quarantined the planet. He's trying to keep everything under control, but he's failing. There are riots in the streets, and Imperial Guards are still dealing with Nyrus' fortress. So, They aren't around to keep the peace.
You told me he was mad, but thousands of his own people are going to die before order is restored. There has to be a better way for him to handle this.
The last time I was here on Drummond Kos, I had a glimpse of the Emperor's mind. 1,000 lives mean nothing to him.
Have some of your memories returned?
Yes, I remember everything now. After the Mandalorian Wars, Malik and I learned that the Sith Empire still survived. We came here to Drummond Kos to investigate. We spent months undercover, learning everything we could about the Emperor and his people. Even back then, he was already planning his invasion of the Republic. When Malik and I discovered his plans, we tried to stop him. We found a member of the Imperial Guard who was willing to sneak us inside the Citadel.
Impossible. The Imperial Guards are bound to the Emperor's will at the end of their training. They cannot betray him.
We didn't know that at the time. We were being led into a trap. The Emperor wanted us to come to him. When we got to the throne room, he was ready and waiting. He didn't even have to fight us. Instead, he broke our wills, dominated our minds, and turned us into his puppets. He sent us back to the Republic as the vanguard of his invasion, with instructions to report back when all the resistance was crushed. But he underestimated us as well. Our minds twisted and perverted his instructions until we thought we were acting of our own accord. Malik and I fell to the dark side, but in doing so, we blocked out all memory of the Emperor.
But why didn't the Emperor invade after you were defeated? The Republic was on the brink of collapse, and it's been vulnerable ever since.
When the Emperor heard nothing, he assumed we had failed. He returned to his original plan, slowly building up his fleet to crush the Republic. And that's only the beginning. The dark side is like a ravenous cancer inside him. It grows faster than he can feed it. He has drained the life of an entire planet, but he still hungers for more. And with that hunger comes all-consuming fear. He is terrified of dying.
Everyone fears death.
Not like this. The Emperor has spent a millennium gathering his strength. If he dies, he will lose everything. The thought of near-infinite power slipping from his grasp has driven him insane. In his twisted mind, the only way to eliminate that fear is to annihilate all life in the galaxy.
Wait, the Emperor's quarantined Drummond Kos. What if he's preparing to conduct the same ritual he used on Nathema? What if he wants to annihilate the entire planet?
Nyrus told me the ritual took days, if not weeks, and the Emperor had to trick hundreds of Sith Lords into working with him.
He's a lot stronger now, but he won't go that far. Not yet. He's too careful, too patient. And Drummond Kos is the Imperial capital. He has too many valuable resources here to throw away. But when he's ready, nothing we can do will be able to stop him.
That doesn't give us a lot of time. We'll strike at dawn, where the guards will be changing shifts. The Emperor will be weak after tonight's battle, leaving him vulnerable.
And I know the Emperor's tricks this time. I could shield myself from his influence. I could teach you how to do the same.
Good. That gives us a few hours to sleep.
You seem troubled.
I want to know more about the Force. I need to understand it like you do.
You want to know this now.
Now might be our last chance. I've been thinking about what you told me in that cell. How the Force showed you your freedom. Did you have a dream?
No. I had a Force vision, which is more powerful than any dream. We can never be certain of anything. The future is always in motion, and the vision only shows you one of many possible outcomes.
And what purposes do they serve?
They guide us. They give us focus. They show us a goal to strive for, or a danger we can work to prevent.
Have you had any visions of what will happen when you face the Emperor?
No. His power obscures my sight. We are walking into a citadel blind, and I cannot promise we will walk out again.
Doesn't that terrify you?
I have learned to set my fear aside. Apparently, you have not.
We Sith are taught to embrace our fear, using it to fuel our power.
But then your actions will always be driven by that fear.
And what are your actions driven by?
My family. my wife and son. I want them to be able to live without the shadow of war hanging over them. I want to keep the Republic safe for generations to come.
If you ask the Sith Lord the same question, they'd give you a similar answer. All we want is to protect the Empire and make sure it flourishes. We Sith don't want war, but we aren't afraid of it either.
The Jedi and the Sith are more similar than either group is willing to admit. They both teach that the doctrine is the best way to use the Force, and they punish anyone who disagrees.
What's the best way to use the Force then? If the Jedi and the Sith disagree?
Both groups are wrong. Individually, the light and the dark can both be used for incredible power. But there's a certain purity in combining them that unlocks power beyond anything the Jedi or the Sith can imagine. Balance, in other words.
How do you combine them?
It's complicated. You need to be proficient in both the light side and the dark. But the dark side is corruptive and difficult to escape from. It's like a black hole. It sucks you in past the point of no return. That's why there are so few Force sensitives who can wield both sides simultaneously. That's why the Jedi are so scared of it.
I suppose it's too late for me to learn then.
Nobody is irredeemable. But if you only want the light side for its power, then you will get nowhere. You have to tap into feelings of empathy and compassion, which you Sith are taught to view as weaknesses. It'll take time and effort. It's not something you can learn overnight.
It was worth a shot, I suppose.
Don't give up just yet. I could teach you how to harness that power. It won't be easy, but we can still try.
I have no wish to become a Jedi.
The Jedi aren't the only ones who use the light side. Just like the Sith aren't the only ones who use the dark side. There's so much more to the Force than those two orders know.
Tell me more.
We can discuss all this later. Right now, we need to get some sleep for tomorrow.
You have returned.
You know I'm here to kill you.
I know you will die trying.
He stands with us now.
Then he will die with you as well.
In that moment, I witnessed a vision from the Force. I saw awful, horrific things. I saw worlds of fire and brimstone. I saw yellow lightsabers dueling at the foot of a terrible throne. And I saw the Emperor dead at the hands of a Jedi. But that Jedi was neither Revan nor Surik. Revan said that these visions only represented a possible future, but this felt different. We were doomed to fail. There was no doubt about that. And so I did the only thing I could. I chose to betray the Jedi. I chose to save myself in the hope that I might live to see the Emperor killed.
No!
Go ahead. Finish it.
No. By all rights, you should be executed. And yet, you are too powerful and too useful to simply kill. So, I will compromise. I will bind you to my will. Your thoughts, your actions, your freedom will be mine. You will be an extension of my wrath, an unstoppable force to be unleashed upon the galaxy. Resistance is futile, Lord Scourge. Surely you must know that by now.
One day, someone will finish what we started. And one day, someone will kill you.
Revan is dying, and Surik is dead. You will soon be under my control. There is no one left to challenge me.
The Force strives for balance. The light will always be there to counter the dark, and the dark will always be there to shadow the light.
Those are Revan's words, and he is wrong.
He is more powerful than you will ever be.
He is dead, and soon the rest of the galaxy will share his fate.
Now I hover between life and death, suspended in a cage on the edge of the galaxy. After the Emperor had dealt with Scourge, he gathered my body and brought me to a space station in the Outer Rim. I was barely alive, but the Emperor harnessed the power of the dark side to sustain me, to keep me from dying. I can feel it spreading like a poison in my mind. And saving me, the Emperor has linked our minds, and he exploits this to torture me for information on the Republic, to ensure his invasion will catch them by surprise. But the connection goes both ways. I can play on the Emperor's paranoia and patience to stave off his assault. I won't be able to hold out forever. The Emperor is too strong. But at the very least I can buy time. Time enough for the Republic and the Jedi Order to prepare an attack. The future of this entire galaxy could rest on my mental war with the Emperor. His power against mine. I know I'll never win. I can already feel myself losing ground. But I intend to die fighting. And that is all that matters to me.